Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Nation. Now today I'm giving you guys another Q&A this week. Today I'm a little bit stuffed up. I might have some allergies going on. I have no idea. I know I'm not sick. So if I sniffle a little bit or sound a little bit, I guess more nasally, that's why. I woke up and it was really a little stuffy. So it doesn't matter. None of that bullshit. Let's get right into this. Have you ever broken up with a friend? Well, I guess they wouldn't really be your friend if you were dating them, I suppose. No, I haven't had that experience, but I guess, kind of similar to the opposite of that. Not exactly what that is, but very similar type of situation. Obviously, friends not having interest in you. Well, only one time, really, but, depending on how long that can last, that's, it's not a good feeling at all. It really is pretty terrible, and it could mess someone up pretty badly, depending on, how much they like the person or not. So I wouldn't want anyone to ever have to experience that, but it's just something that does happen, unfortunately. And it's not any fault to the other person at all. It's, you can't force people to like you or have an attraction or to want to be with you. You just can't. Unless you're a kidnapper, then in that case, that's a whole different story. What if you went to school one day and you went into your classroom and everyone in there had no clothes on, everyone was naked? What would you do? I'd probably say wake the hell up, goddammit. Well, unless they were the cute girls over there, then, I wouldn't want to wake up, obviously, but... what if humans didn't wear clothes like animals? I'm guessing this is the same guy who has a real affinity to nudity. It wouldn't really be a big deal, I guess, because no one would wear clothes. You just see everyone's penis and, vagina all day, I guess, and their boobs and guy asses and everything. So it wouldn't really be anything. Would there be a strong sexual urge when seeing some of the opposite sex at that point? When you've seen it for so long, I'm not really sure. I think that's the interesting question. Like, obviously, there's some. Sort of obviously attraction or arousal when you see someone of the opposite sex. If you're attracted to the opposite sex, of course, naked. A very interesting question on if they were always naked, would you really be so inclined to have that arousal, be engaged at that moment just by visually looking at them? I'm very curious of some of your thoughts on that. That's an interesting question, I think. That might even be a featured question. It's not even Dragon Ball, but I kind of want to feature just so you guys have some input on that. Top 3 saddest moments in Dragon Ball Z for you, and explain why. Personally, Majin Vegeta's sacrifice for me comes at my number 1 since it showed Vegeta had pity and emotion for the others. I think that's a good video topic for one day, but one of, if not the saddest moment for me. Since you gave your number 1, I think I can give probably what my number 1 pick would be. Is when Goku sacrifices himself against Cell. That's a really, really well done scene. Now, I'm not saying Majin Vegeta's sacrifice is not emotional, because it definitely is. I'm just saying that the Goku one holds more weight for me, personally. Do you think Goku Black could use Kaioken if he can go Super Saiyan Rose Kaioken? I don't think he used Kaioken. If it's about, maybe like seeing someone do an attack, he can do it himself. Goku never used Kaioken against him. I don't know how Super Saiyan Rose is exactly achieved. And, number 3, it's not really like he uses Goku's moves, right? He doesn't, he has that kind of Kamehameha attack, doesn't he? I guess that's kind of similar. But aside from that, like, what else does he really have, right? He has a lot of his own moves, it seems, so it's very interesting to see how... We have to really figure out how Black is invented, how he's achieved, and all that stuff, so... Exactly how he gets Super Saiyan, because we don't really know. Okay, let's see here. Would you change your name to Fuckboy for $9 quintillion? That's a lot of goddamn money, it really is, but... Yeah, then I'd change it back, obviously, but if I couldn't change it back, what girl's gonna want to date a guy named Fuckboy? Probably the guy that has $9 quintillion, so I probably would still do it. But I really do like my name, Josh. That's a tough question. It seems so like trivial of a question. Like it seems obviously you change your name. It's just your name. Like, but like, if let's just say you can't change it back, you know, obviously I'd want to keep my name, but realistically, $9 quintillion is a lot of goddamn money. GTA 4 Nico, what would you rate him on a scale of 1 to 10? Obviously, not talking about attractiveness because obviously Nico was a 100 out of 2. Clearly. Nico is probably... he is my favorite Grand Theft Auto character, so I would by default give him a 10 on a scale of how good of a character he is. I've had some people say Nico's not very interesting. I don't know where the hell they get that from because Nico's pretty damn in-depth and a very intriguing character and very unique. Especially for the time he came out, very unique at a video game standpoint. And I always do, like, one thing I've always noticed, I think I've talked about this before on the channel, but one thing I've always noticed about the Grand Theft Auto games is obviously a lot of people just buy them to dick around and to play online now and to just kill people. And I know the media gets into it, but I think just the one thing that the media does not understand or doesn't really care about because it's not the you're not gonna get any publicity, is how incredible the tales are in these games, how amazingly written the characters are, how every game now has been just social commentary. Like 4 was pretty good. It was like a parody of our own life in a way, and it was obviously commenting on the things that we do most. You know, they were focusing a little bit on the cell phones. Like, hey, people are starting to use cell phones a lot now. And all sorts of things like, you know, internet cafes were really popular and all sorts of things of that era, 2007, 2008 era. And, you know, all the terror scares and everything like that. And then GTA 5 had everything like, well, everyone's on their cell phones now. Everyone's addicted to social media. There's this big guy in the game, you know, who's basically like the owner of Facebook, but it's called Life Invader. There's Bleeder, which I believe Bleeder was also in GTA 4 as well, which is just Twitter. There's always these parody things, and it's such an intelligently made game and world. And I feel like a lot of people, even if they do play the campaign, they don't really appreciate the game as much because they never went on the online or, you know, the internet inside the game or watch the television stations. There's a reason Grand Theft Auto is as highly rated as it is, and I feel like the people will be like, oh, GTA's overrated. The people that say GTA's overrated, I feel like never played GTA for the story or went to experience it like any critics ever did. Because the critics understand that they can go in and explore all the nuances and all the details that Rockstar goes and puts in those games. They're really there's the detail they put into it is seriously is unmatched by any other developer in my opinion. It just really is. Like, sure, you can be like, well, you know, Naughty Dog's just about as good at writing, but there's a difference between an Uncharted game and a GTA game in many ways, obviously. But I think that the GTA is just something that is, even going back to Vice City, you could make your arguments for 3. 3 wasn't the best story in my opinion, but it was their first big, you know, it was their 3D open world game. When it came to Vice City and beyond, even though Vice City was essentially just Scarface, and even San Andreas was basically just Boys in the Hood, they still had their own nuances in the story, their own pop culture references, their own not necessarily social commentary at that point. Social commentary is really something that did come into GTA 4, but I think once 4 really rolled around, it really was known as this, you know, juggernaut that, I mean, it's always been a juggernaut, but I mean in like a storytelling perspective. And I just appreciate that Rockstar actually does take the care and build things that they want to make that they think are going to be fun, and it really does pay off most of the time. Still waiting on the next Red Dead, though. It's been almost 7 years. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Well, I guess 6, but, you know, they said their next game, don't expect their next game until, like, March 2017 or something like that. So that's going to be at least 7 years until Red Dead, I guess. But yeah, that's GTA for you, my big GTA talk. Would you ever fuck a house for $950 billion? Yeah, it's just a house. I mean, it ain't much different than your hand, is it? I guess it'd be quite a bit weirder, but for $950,000 or $950 billion, I mean, who wouldn't? Just a house. It's an inanimate object. That's how you say it, right? Inanimate. Inanimate. You know what I mean, man. It's a house, bro. Someone's gonna call me a freak, but they know they'd do it too. Grand Theft Auto games versus Dragon Ball Z games, which is more fun? I love Dragon Ball Z games. I think Xenoverse 2 is my most anticipated game of the year, even though Gears of War 4 looks phenomenal. It really does look phenomenal. But just Xenoverse 2, man. But if a GTA or a Red Dead game got announced, there would be literally no more anticipation left to give out to Xenoverse and Gears. It'd all be going to GTA. GTA and Red Dead, because they're kind of very similar, really, at a core gameplay standpoint. They're just the funnest experiences ever. GTA 5 is still my all-time favorite game. It has such good gameplay, even though the aiming's kind of crappy, because I can't stand using lock-on. I just can't. The aiming's kind of crappy, even, compared to other games on consoles, obviously. But, like, there's something about Grand Theft Auto that always has, like, such replay value to me. And I don't know if it is the just exploration or just traversing around the environment or what it is, but Grand Theft Auto's always held a special place in my heart. Freddy versus Jason, who do you think won that fight? It's been a long time since I've seen the movie, so it's hard for me to say, but Jason did win, but didn't Freddy wink at the end? So I guess no one really won the fight, I guess. Who do you think, or who do you like, would you like to live on planet Venus for a year? No. Would you like to live on Mars ever? No. Or would you want to live on Jupiter for 9 months? I don't want to live on any of these places, bro. I don't. Why would I want to live there? If GTA... Oh, we got more... I like the GTA questions, man. If GTA 4 Nico and his crew were in the world of the Terminator, how many machines do you think they'd be able to kill? Depending on what weapons they have, I mean... Why not all of them, right? Why not all of them? Let's take Nico. Fuck it. Put Trevor, Franklin, and Michael in there too. Tommy, CJ, Packy, Phil Bell, I guess. Yeah, that'd work. That'd be pretty good. Little Jacob. That'd be great. Ultimate Perfect Cell gets 100 quintillion times strong. Of course he does. Of course he does. You don't need to say it. We know this. I think I'll leave it off on here. Why are people in Dragon Ball Z so stupid? They believe that Mr. Satan let Trunks win when they saw Trunks and Goten fight in the air, and their punches were sending shockwaves everywhere. Well, remember that it's just a simple trick, and Mr. Satan is the true Omni King and the strongest in Dragon Ball. It's kind of obvious. Everyone knows that, so I think you're in the wrong here personally, but that's just my opinion. That's been it for this Q&A, guys. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I guess there wasn't a whole lot of Dragon Ball questions, were there really? But yeah, other than that, I'll catch you guys later.